Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.
So last week was a week that I missed. It was a huge week. Not for Xbox, though. We kind of talked a little bit on the live stream because obviously I missed last week's video due to work. But this week I do want to talk about it, and I also want to call out some things that's actually pretty funny to me. Now, as you guys know, if I had to consider myself any type of gamer, I'd probably consider myself a chaotic neutral. I hop on X and I see people console warring, which, by the way, I didn't know was still existing until I hopped on X last year for the first time and watched a bunch of people, mainly 30, 40, 50, and 60-year-old dudes, fight over plastic boxes and sales charts. Yeah, it's still happening in 2025. And it is as sad as you would think it is. Now, I consider myself a gamer. And what does that mean to me? I consider myself that plays video games, no matter what the platform is. I enjoy things, and I'm willing to criticize things that I dislike. Mainly, say, PlayStation has some problems, Xbox has a lot of problems, Nintendo has problems. The whole damn industry has problems. And I don't mind calling it out. But here's the thing that I learned, if you hop on X or NeoGAF or Icon Era or just a comments section down below, you're going to see people, it's like, oh, you're this one-sided person. Because you have to be on one side or the other. See, the thing is, back in the day, during the Atari days, the Nintendo, the N64, the PS1, the PS2, 360, PS3, we had fun playing these schoolyard fight things, having our weird, nerdy West Side Story time stuff, fighting each other over an allegiance to a company that doesn't give a damn about us. And it's still true today, they don't. But back in the day when we was children, and yes, we were children, all the way up until our mid-20s, when this shit should have ended. But here we are, and I'm making a video about it that's probably not going to be seen. But you will be surprised how many people are tied to a certain brand of consoles. Now, like I said, back in the day, during the PS3 and the 360 days, PS2, the original Xbox, the GameCube, I used to do that stuff all the time. I was a big Xbox-only guy for a while. Midway through the Xbox 360 era, until they start moving on with Kinect and all that stuff, and I had to play Metal Gear Solid 4 because obviously I had to, and I hopped back on PS3 because I didn't have one starting out because I was a poor college kid. But like I said, it's still going on, and this week, well, actually this whole month, or actually if you want to take it back even further than that, this whole year seems to be this whole Xbox is dead thing. Now, you guys know, if you followed anybody on Twitter, let's say Twitter or YouTube, maybe Dreamcast guy, he's very famous for shit like this. You see right here, every video. Xbox goes up, Xbox dead, Xbox dead. You can continuously go through all this stuff like he hates Xbox. He says he's not a fanboy, but he makes fanboy content, which is, again, it's quite cringy, but we're still doing this, which, by the way, I feel if you're doing this, if you're like a totally one-sided person and you call yourself a gamer, I really cannot take you seriously when I see videos like that or posts like that. I understand if you want to grift and say that, you know, the other guys are grifters, you want some kind of team thing, I understand. That's funny. But I can't take anything you say seriously whenever your first thing is this brand dead or shit on you because you're having fun a certain way on a certain platform. And it's very easy to see with the news, and I'll go ahead and start because this by the way, this is bad. I don't care who you are, and I'll tell you why. This last couple years, we've seen the rise of video game consoles going up. We've seen services going up. We've seen people losing their jobs, studios being closed on all sides except for probably Nintendo. But we've seen indie studios fail, games that cost $400 million come out the gate to be instantly shut down after a couple weeks. We've seen games just completely flop, studios just shut down, or whole divisions shut down, whether it be on Xbox or PlayStation and other developers throughout the industry. EA, Ubisoft's another big fucking problem. You name it, there's fire everywhere. But again, we do want to concentrate on just one because actually they're probably some of the biggest offenders of that. And that's Xbox. I hate to say it, but it's true. Xbox spent $80-some billion on acquisitions like ABK and Bethesda and several other studios for Game Pass. And here's the thing, I like Game Pass, okay? But how I use Game Pass, probably compared to most people, is I use it as a demo service or a supplement. I still buy my games. Most AAA games that I see it comes out, I support the devs, I support developers, I give the money because I enjoy gaming. And if I see something I dislike, I don't give them the money. Now, they raised the prices of their consoles twice this year. PlayStation did it, Nintendo did it. Everything's going up. Everybody's blaming all kinds of different things like tariffs and blah, 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 blah. But nothing has really been as egregious as, well, Xbox. And it started out right here. Microsoft to raise Xbox console prices again in the US. This was on September 26th. Now, the price changes apply to all current models of the Xbox Series X and S. The Xbox Series S 512 goes from, these prices already rose prior to this, by the way. I think this is the second time this year. And it's stupid. This is 5-year-old tech, by the way. Nothing fancy, just 5-year-old tech, and one has a hard drive increase, and I don't think that's worth the price, but we'll continue here. It's from $379.99 to $399.99. The Xbox Series S 1 terabyte goes from $429 to $449. The Xbox Series X Digital Edition will increase from $549 to $599. The Standard Edition with a disc drive goes from $599 to $649. And a 2 terabyte Special Edition, we're talking about Special Edition, it just has stars on it or some stupid bullshit, and a bigger hard drive. $729 to $799. It's a huge increase in price. And again, this isn't anything special. Yes, one's a special edition, and I'm sure there's a market for it. But you're asking me as a consumer, somebody that's going to purchase this product, I've never bought an Xbox before, never bought a PlayStation or whatever, you're asking me to spend this much money on 5-year-old tech? When in the past, hardware has gone down in price. Games has gone down in price. But we're at this weird stage now where we're upselling everything and trying to blaming it on everything but being a greedy bunch of cunts. Not only that, as you guys know, like I said, I do like Game Pass. I use it as a supplement. I mainly use it like as a demo service. If I see something I'm interested in, while I'm playing the latest game, like Doom the Dark Ages, which I bought it on day one. I got the premium edition on PC, and I played it on PC. That's what I did. I played it on PC. But it is on Game Pass. So if I was sitting there, I was like, man, I want to play it on my Xbox. Well, I already purchased the game once. And sometimes, most of the time, I'm going to tell you, like later on, I might even double dip. I just like that. That's if I see the game on sale on another platform and I'm using that platform constantly, I'll add it to my library if it's very cheap. But like I said, I use it as a way to try out games, or if there's, in between games, I'm like, oh, let me check out Game Pass. Let's see what they have. A good example was Still Wakes the Deep, which was one of my favorite games to come out. I think it was last year. I played it on Game Pass, and I went out after I played it, and I bought it on Steam. And I know it's like, you're not buying it on the console. It's like, I play everywhere, so it doesn't fucking matter. And I think I also bought it again on Xbox when it was cheap. This is the same thing I use PlayStation Premium for. Like, if there's games that I see that I would not give a try, I would try it out. Now, the biggest difference, again, we've talked about this many, many times, is the fact that there's day one games on the subscription service. And that's a big thing, right? You don't see anybody else doing it. And it's probably one of the big reasons why it's not doing so well. Just because the fact that games cost a lot of money now, and you're giving this entry point for a consumer, which is very good, by the way. It's very good. I'm not going to tell you not to do this, because I think, if you're a gamer and you want to play a game and enjoy your hobby, do it how you want to. I'm never going to look at you and say, you got to support the devs and buy your games because blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell you that. If you came here for that, I'm not the one to do that. But they raised the price of Game Pass. They've already done this a couple times, but this has become more egregious. Take a look at your Xbox Game Pass membership just got more expensive. Is it worth it? Let's take a look here. After raising the price twice on the Xbox console, Microsoft is also increasing monthly cost for the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $19.99 to $29.99. This is a 50% price increase. They also increased the PC plan from $11.99 to $16.49. And we can take a look right here. This is all the shit that is added. The main stuff, the premium and the essential tier is, I mean, they add a little bit more. You get access to cloud, which they're saying there's going to be a free model coming for cloud where you can access the cloud for free, and it has breaks and ad breaks. And I'm not the biggest guy into cloud gaming. To me, I don't think we're there yet. Some it's good, some it's bad. I've had some bad experiences with PlayStation. I've had bad experience with Xbox, and I just don't really care. Like, I bought the Portal so I could play Death Stranding 2 while I was out on the road during my work, and it was an abysmal freaking thing. It was awful, but I still have it, and I still use it from time to time. And you get that. You still get that on these tiers, but you get a little bit more. And like I said, the most egregious was this. And I think before it was $17.99. And that's what I was paying, right? And now it's $30 a month. First thing, here's the thing. When you start getting at those prices, you got to think about the other people that's actually joining these services to begin with. Most of them are budget-oriented. They're trying to save money and still enjoy what they love the most, and it's gaming. And, sometimes we have hundreds of subscriptions. I'm not going to say hundreds, but a dozen subscription services like Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Apple TV, Pornhub, whatever. You probably have that. And you're asking me to take something like Game Pass, something I'm only paying $17.99 to enjoy all that stuff, and tacking in another $10, $15? That's a problem. That's when people are going to look at it and be like, damn, I don't know if it's even worth it. This year has been a stellar year for Game Pass, though. And we have things like Doom, The Dark Ages, Oblivion Remaster, Call of Duty, Ninja Gaiden, Outer Worlds, Indiana Jones. A lot of great games is on that service. But I don't think it's enough for people to want to stay on for that price. I think the sweet spot would have been at least $24.99. That's not too egregious, especially with the additions you added, which we can take a look at this. So on Ultimate, you have 500 plus games on Xbox, console, and PC. And by the way, I do believe that all tiers now include PC gaming as well, so you have access to all of that. New games on day one, including new Xbox published games and third-party games. EA Play and Ubisoft Classics and Fortnite Crew. Now, this is something I'm going to tell you. I'm saying subscribe, and there's a reason. I already subscribed to Fortnite Crew with my wife, my cousin, my friends, my nephew. We all play Fortnite all the time. It's just something we do as a family, some friends, and we just love playing Fortnite. So we subscribe, we get the Battle Pass, get the free V-Bucks and skins and all that stuff that comes with it. And I think already it's like $12. So what I ended up doing, and what I plan on doing, which I think is automatically going to combine together, is once they add that in November to the price, I'm not going to change it. But I think too, right now, they just kind of rolled back a little bit and saying if you're already tied to the subscription, you don't have to worry about that change. I don't know. I think enough people tried to cancel their services immediately, which caused server strain on the actual page to cancel Game Pass. It was that bad, and now they're kind of rolling it back, sort of. So if you're an old subscriber with reoccurring billing, you get to keep that grandfathered price until they decide not to, which is Microsoft, and it's the gaming industry, and they don't just want some money, they want all the money. But to me, it's kind of worth it for me because I already subscribed to Fortnite. So this, on top of that, is great for me. So I don't have to pay extra. It's all bundled in. And again, you get EA Play, which I don't really care. Ubisoft Classics, I don't care. I already own most of the games on these services. Stream your games best quality, which is something else that's kind of egregious. Behind the wall, I believe there was some streaming, like, let's see if we can find it. Stream quality Game Pass tiers. Let's see if we can find that. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what the tiers are. I'm pretty damn sure they changed it. So here we go. Here's a nasty ass graphic here. This will probably be a little bit better, even though it's so fucking terrible. Streaming has been kind of locked away a little bit. So, just like similar services like NVIDIA, GeForce, you have tiers where you can experience certain quality of cloud performance via whatever tier you're on. Xbox is doing a very similar thing. I was hoping this would have had it, which, again, like I said, it had this somewhere. Here we go. Here's the ultimate. So, unlimited cloud gaming at the best quality with the shortest wait times. I think that sucks. I think that sucks, hiding, like, taking away the quality of the service you get, like, to play the games. Because cloud gaming, to me, is already arduous to itself. It's got its hits or misses, but every single one of these tiers has cloud gaming. But depending how much money you want to play, depends how good you're going to get your service. So imagine, let's just say, I don't know, YouTube Premium. You have your 360p, 720p, 1080p, 4K, 60 FPS, and Premium's like, hey, we're going to hide 4K and 1080p for Premium members only. But I can only get 720p videos and stuff like that because I'm a free? Or here's another tier. We'll give you a low quality. Let's hide, I don't know, 360p and 720p, and everybody else gets 144p for free. So you're hiding the quality of the service per line. And this isn't like, internet packages where you can pay for speeds and stuff like that. This is deliberately taking away something that will impede the quality of the game that you're playing. So if you went out and you bought, I don't know, the PlayStation Portal or the Xbox Series X Asus ROG Ally, and you're wanting to use the cloud portion, well, I'm only on Premium. Well, I'm getting really shitty service compared to the $30 Premium. I already spent $1,000 on this thing. And you're telling me if I'm subscribed to Premium, I'm only going to get the mid version of your cloud streaming? It's kind of stupid. It's really dumb. I think it's really anti-consumer. I think it's dumb. Shouldn't be happening. But they're not the only ones that do it. I'm pretty sure on PlayStation, even access the cloud, you have to have Premium PS Plus. I could be wrong on that. Maybe. I don't know. I know if you wanted to access, like, the PlayStation Plus cloud gaming thing where you can just pick a game instead of having to connect directly to your PlayStation, I think you have to have PlayStation Premium. I don't know. I rarely use some of these features. But it's very anti-consumer, and I can see why people had a problem with it. One, you're adding things that some people don't care about. You got to remember, not everybody plays Fortnite. Not everybody cares about EA Play or PlayStation, Ubisoft Classics. And by the way, Ubisoft Classics, and I think EA Play, is also on PlayStation Plus Premium, and it's a lower price. I get it too. You're saying the barrier to entry for an Xbox can be anything from your microwave, your refrigerator, your phone, your console, your TV, your Amazon Fire Stick. All you need is a controller and the Xbox app and just pay $30 a month. I see that. There is value there, I think, but not for everybody. You got to understand it. I think it's a problem with the gaming industry as a whole. They're thinking that, we have all the money and they want to suck everything out, but they don't actually think about the actual audience or new people that's wanting to join these actual services. Kind of locks a lot of people out. Just let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Right now, the economy is pretty fucked. It's awful. It's really awful. Just asking somebody to pay $15 more for something they already been paying for a long time, it's quite awful. But it's enough about Game Pass. But here's the thing. Whenever there's bad news about Xbox or PlayStation, you have a lot of people, a lot of clowns that come out and do the whole Xbox is dead every single day. They make content non-stop. And here's the thing. I've done it on Xbox. People have done it to PlayStation. Whenever something bad happens to PlayStation, you have a bunch of retards on the Xbox community saying the same bullshit. But for some odd reason, it's more egregious on the PlayStation side because you have a lot of people say they're against console wars, but continue to console war. They call the people on the Xbox side or the PC or Nintendo side grifters, shills, frauds, whatever the words they don't understand what it means. This is no different than the people on the left saying stuff like racism, sexism, homophobia, and whatever, Nazi. They're just making words. They're using words that they don't understand and making them meaningless. A good example, and we brought him up many, many times. X-Vault, one of the guys that says he likes PlayStation, but he's not a fanboy. But he definitely does not like Xbox people. And he doesn't like Xbox. He'll do everything except confirm that he is a PlayStation fanboy or has bias. Doesn't matter. He already blocked me anyways. Let's scroll down. Let's take a look right. He said, why are Xbox fanboys such miserable assholes? Well, I mean, have you watched your channel? You call Colt Eastwood. Come on, bald, you fucking thumb. Let's keep on going here. Microsoft Xbox, what an absolute clusterfuck of a company. With another grifter here, 17-year-old veteran dev leaves Xbox and declares full story will come out in the next year or so when it's safe to do so. Anytime there's bad Xbox news, this guy's immediately on it. You have a bunch of them that are immediately on it. And they get mad when they get called out about it. Let's keep on saying. You have this guy, one of the biggest mouth breathers I can think of, Reforged Gaming, one of the most dishonest, delusional motherfuckers on the planet. X-Vault, of course, glazes this guy. Here's the thing. If you have somebody that's popular in the PlayStation or Xbox community or Nintendo community, you always have a bunch of mouth breathers or yes men that are constantly being like, yes, daddy, see me? Do you see me over here? Do you see me? Notice me, senpai. Notice me right now. These guys would cry or panic, have a panic attack if Colin Moriarty, Reforged, MBG, Mighty Keith, whatever, walked up to these guys, or Colt Eastwood, Gaz, or Tim Dog. These guys would love to be in that position. If they met Colin Moriarty, these guys would do everything they can to get their mouths full, and you know what of. They're the biggest bunch of pick-me's I've ever seen in my life when it comes to sucking up to somebody that's got more engagement and more followers and just dumb shit. Let's keep on going. It's actually how it works legacy. And by the way, this guy, C-Money's 1 point. Come on, dude. This right here, this is a problem. And they all do this. This is clearly Hogwarts. It's Hogwarts. It's not Fable. And you got to understand too, by the way, a lot of these people that are participating in console wars, they don't really play video games to begin with. They don't. They just don't. They just bitch about them online and complain about when you see somebody having fun on something, whatever. But like I said, it is what it is. X-Vault community gets tilted over facts. Anything he can say about Xbox, and it lives rent-free. Not only is that a grift, as soon as all the news started happening with Xbox, you had RGT, which, by the way, I love RGT. Nothing wrong with him, but I could tell when something is popular that comes out, that something has a lot of drama associated with, you have a bunch of these guys hopping on like flies to shit. That's what they do. Here it is. How many Xbox videos here? Abandons hardware. There was a leak about that saying Xbox was going to abandon hardware. I don't know. I'm not going to say they are or not. I know they're moving to a more PC hybrid model, which is fine for me because I do console and PC. So I've always looked at Xbox probably since, I don't know, maybe the Xbox One, when they started putting more games on PC. That's like, well, that works for me. That works for me. I'm already on PC and I can play your games on Xbox and PC if I want. So it's kind of interchangeable for me. But it's like this. Let's take a look at it. How many Xbox video game videos do we got here? He goes from Nintendo Switch straight to Xbox. And it's all over the place. Red Dragon, another grifter, another shill. These guys will do anything but say they're not PlayStation fanboys or Nintendo or Xbox fanboys. These are just the most egregious ones. These are the same guys that call everyone else grifters, frauds, and shills. It's just is what it is. Xbox, they live rent free. And another good one we've talked about was Puerto Rock. Every single message he makes, everything he posts is Xbox is dead, Xbox is dead, Xbox is dead, and he's nearly 50, and he's actually having fights with people online over the plastic box. And here's the thing, I like Puerto Rock, I like X-Fault. Shit, I even like Red Dragon, even though he's a dumbass. Like, all of them are dumbasses. And I'm not afraid to say that, but if I was sitting there and they wanted to have a beer, fine. You want to have a beer and talk about video games instead of being a brand loyalist or ambassador, I don't really give a fuck. But here's the thing, it's like these weirdos are like all about calling other people's shills and grifters and all this stuff. They don't watch their videos to begin with. They'll see a thumbnail, and they do this all the time to Alex, is they'll see a thumbnail of something and be like, oh, he's talking about PlayStation. They won't watch the video and see what is actually going on. They'll just go buy whatever. They'll call you a grifter. And a lot of it's jealousy. That's what I've noticed. It's jealousy because they have bigger followings, and they want that. So they'll do everything they can to try to stop that. This is normal. This is what social media does. And this is why I think social media is a fucking mistake. So to cap it all off, before I make this even longer, I don't think Xbox is dead. I don't think PlayStation's dead. I don't think Nintendo's dead. I don't think PC's dead. I don't care. I don't care. Because what I care about is playing the video games. I care what's going on in the industry. To me, console wars and sales charts and stuff like that, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm not really interested in it. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you the truth. When I see people fighting over something online, like petulant children, I like to intervene and just be an asshole and just say goofy things to egg it on. Because it's funny. It's really funny. And if you're in social media and you want to build a following, you have to be a dick. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're just trying to build a brand. That's what they're doing. I don't think half these guys even game. They just bitch about it online. The same guys that say support the devs also actually subscribe to Game Pass or PlayStation Premium or Gamefly. They do that. When you hop on the internet, just prepare. When you see these things happening, just realize that a lot of these people are full of shit. They don't know what they're talking about most of the time. And the things that they're saying, they're just projecting most of the time. And when you have somebody like me and many others that don't care about this stuff and just like video games and can criticize all the companies, they don't like that because you have to be on a side. These guys think this is like civil war. You would think if you're walking down the street, an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy or a Nintendo guy is going to pull out gats and start shooting each other with them. You would think that, but it's not. If you've probably seen one of these guys, they would fold like a paper plane. It's just the way a lot of soy boys that didn't get much attention in life, so they're going through this midlife crisis where like, you know what? I used to console war when I was a child. I see there's a market on it on X, so I'm going to do it. Yay, me. Hello, fellow kids. I'm 50. Xbox dead. PlayStation dead. Nintendo dead. It's gay as shit, man. Like, it's beyond cringe. And I'm one of the cringiest people I know. My wife will even tell you. I don't even have any friends that want to hang out with me because I'm cringe. But that's just me. I miss everything. I missed it all. And I want to give my take on it. I think, the raising of prices going on every side, especially with Microsoft, is totally fucking egregious. And you're locking a bunch of people out. And one thing I do think is funny is you have people that say, hey, if you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, you was poor. Now, when they raise the prices and people are still staying on Game Pass, they're like, you're a shield, you're awful. And you're like using that same type of logic against them. It's like, well, you called me poor and I'm paying for something that's higher price? What are we doing? We're paying $1,000 for a handheld? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't do both. It's one or the other. But these people change their minds on the fly. Whatever's new, whatever they have in their marching orders from Big Boss, they immediately go for it because they think they're going to get some notoriety, or one of these guys is going to get notices so they can get free codes online, or vacations, or going to different places to try games, or meeting up with Phil Spencer, or Hiroki Totoki, Herman Hulst, or Shigeru Miyamoto. By the way, that's an argument that's happening right now where the PlayStation guys are mad at Xbox guys that are getting these opportunities to go meet Xbox people, when also this happens throughout the whole industry. Not just gaming, this happens in movies, sports, porn, whatever. You get to go do that. You have people that support a product, or they write good about a product, they get an opportunity to do these things. And there's a lot of dishonesty on all sides. And if you're going to say it's just one side, I hate to tell you, you're fucking wrong. I think it was Reforged Gaming that said that, and he used to be, I think he used to be a content creator and work in the program for Ubisoft and Destiny, where he gets free codes, free opportunities. But it's only bad when Xbox people do it. But it's going on everywhere. So you just got to think to yourself, when these people say that, it's probably projection. And they don't want to talk about what's really going on. But until then, I love you. And I'll see you soon.